We live in this incredible world of endless entertainment, right? Instant gratification, limitless choice. We have more of everything we supposedly want than any other generation in history. But here's the weird thing. Studies show we're also more anxious, more disconnected, and, well, more unhappy. It's a huge paradox, and the answer? It's actually deep inside our own brains. Today, we're going to dig into why our ancient wiring is having such a hard time coping with this modern world of abundance. And this quote from Dr. Anna Lemke, who's the chief of the Stanford Addiction Clinic, just nails it. The idea that chasing pleasure nonstop can actually kill our ability to feel joy, that's the key. That's the key to understanding everything we're about to talk about. I mean, it feels totally backwards, doesn't it? More pleasure should equal more happiness. Simple. But it turns out our brains are basically running on this ancient survival software that just was not designed for the world we've built for ourselves. This world of 24/7 temptation. So this brings us to our first big idea, the paradox of abundance. You see, our brains evolved over thousands and thousands of years to deal with scarcity, and now they're just drowning in abundance. And this mismatch, it isn't just a small problem, it's actually become a major source of our modern stress. For pretty much all of human history, our survival was all about finding rare rewards. Food, safety, a good connection with someone. Now, those things are everywhere, all the time. Dr. Lemke actually calls the result of this the modern plague, addiction and compulsive overconsumption. And it affects everything from our phones to the food we eat. So how does this actually work, on a biological level? To really get why abundance is so stressful, we need to look at a really simple but super powerful model for how our brain handles pleasure and pain. Just think of it like a constant balancing act. Okay, so imagine there's a scale in your brain, a seesaw, basically. One of its main jobs, its main rules, is that it must always return to a level position. Scientists call this homeostasis. This balance, that's your baseline, your normal state of contentment. So when we do something pleasurable, eat a cookie, get a like on Instagram, that scale tips way over to the pleasure side. And it feels great, right? That feeling is driven by a rush of a chemical called dopamine in our brain's reward pathway. Our brain immediately flags this feeling as important for survival, which is why we remember it so well and, want to do it again. But here's the crucial part. As soon as that scale tips towards pleasure, the brain's survival mechanism kicks in to bring it back to level. And how does it do that? It starts adding little invisible weights to the pain side of the scale. It's a protective thing. Your brain is literally trying to guard against being overwhelmed by too much of a good thing. And this is a feeling we all know. It's the hangover, it's the sugar crash, it's that feeling of loneliness after you binge watch a whole season of a show, or the craving for just one more scroll. That's a temporary state of dopamine deficit, and it feels pretty awful. And this is the trap. With repeated exposure, so many of those little pain weights pile up that our baseline actually shifts. The scale is now permanently tilted to the side of pain. So now we're not even chasing pleasure to feel good anymore. We're just trying to get back to feeling normal. We've built a tolerance, and the original joy, it's just gone. Okay, so with that brain mechanism in mind, let's look at how it's being targeted, how it's being amplified by the technology all around us. This is where we get to the digital drug problem. Modern technology is taking our most fundamental human needs, things like connection, validation, intimacy, and it's packaging them into these frictionless, incredibly potent, drug-like experiences that give us a hit of dopamine instantly, whenever we want it. I mean, think about it. An AI chatbot never disagrees with you. Your social media feed is perfectly tailored to show you exactly what you want to see. Unlike real, messy, effortful human relationships, there's no compromise, there's no conflict, there's no actual work involved. And this chart, wow, it just makes the trade-off we're making crystal clear, doesn't it? We're swapping the hard, meaningful, and sometimes frustrating work of real connection for an easy substitute that's ultimately pretty shallow and isolating. We're basically outsourcing the very challenges that are supposed to help us grow and build resilience. This warning, it gets right to the heart of the risk. We're not being conquered by some outside force. No, we are willingly giving away our attention, our agency, and our ability to find joy in the real world, all in exchange for easy digital comfort. Okay, so that's the problem, and I know it sounds pretty bleak, but what's the solution? Well, here's the really good news. Our brains are incredibly adaptable. This system isn't broken forever. It can absolutely be reset, and we can learn to take back control. So how long does that take? According to Dr. Lumpy's clinical experience, 4 weeks, that seems to be the average amount of time it takes for our reward pathways to start resetting after we stop using our drug of choice. And that drug could be sugar, it could be social media, or, something else entirely. And the whole point of this kind of dopamine fast isn't just about stopping a bad habit. No, it's about restoring your brain's factory settings. It's about allowing yourself to once again find pleasure in the simple, healthy, and sustainable things in life. But just stopping, that's only half the battle. The real key to long-term balance is this powerful and kind of counterintuitive idea. We need to intentionally choose to do hard things. Instead of running from discomfort, we should actively lean into healthy kinds of effort. Let me show you how that works. Okay, so when you do something hard, like go for a run or have a difficult but honest conversation, you are pressing the pain side of that balance first. And in response, your brain adapts by adding weights to the pleasure side to level things out. So you're basically paying the cost upfront with effort, and you get rewarded with a healthier, more sustainable sense of well-being afterwards. It completely flips the script. So thriving in this crazy world of abundance, it's not about becoming a monk and avoiding all pleasure. Not at all. It's about being intentional. It's about consciously choosing those effortful rewards that build you up in the long run, instead of just defaulting to the easy ones that create dependency. The question isn't whether you'll tip the scales in your brain. You do that every single day. The only question is, which direction will you choose to push?